Hi everybody. Hi. Good morning. Hey, how are you? Hi. Happy Monday. I guess those two go together. Hi. Hey. Good morning. Where is everybody coming from this morning? Where are you? I'm in North Carolina. Where are you? What have you been up to today? We'll just wait for everybody to jump on. And let me know if my signal goes out. Hey, yeah. Hi. Oh, I miss you. Cologne. Random. Okay. You're working. Sorry. So we're going to be talking this morning, hello, about how to read a nutrition label for fat loss. Thank you for the hearts. Good morning. So there is a science to reading nutrition labels, and I'm not sure if you know how to do this. I'm going to upload this Periscope, or you can replay it later, but I'm going to upload it to YouTube later in case this is a lot of information and you don't have a pen and paper handy, because there is some math involved in reading a nutrition label. So when you're looking at the label, something that doesn't really matter typically is the sodium content. So when you're looking at the label, I don't even know. I picked some PB2. Arabia, nice, cool. Sodium on this is 70, for example. You want your sodium to be under 200 milligrams, which can be a little bit challenging to get under 200 for sodium when you're looking at a label, but it is something to factor, especially when you're buying salsa. For some reason, salsa is like crazy high in salt, as is the broth stuff that you put in. That can be really high sodium also, but it's not as important. We grew up in the 80s, or at least I did, and we were always taught to buy low fat. Oh, thank you, you're so sweet. Fat is not what makes you fat, by the way. You do want to be careful about the kinds of fats that you buy. As long as you're keeping fat under 15, that's a good thing. So I'm going to look at my little thing right here. You're welcome. I love periscoping with you guys. So this particular product has 1 gram of fat. So you want to try to stick to 15 grams of fat or less. Don't go above 15, because then you know it's going to be too much. And we're trying to figure out the hormonal carbs that food has. So nutrition labels are super important. Yes, protein is important. And we're going to get to protein now. Yeah, I love fat. It makes everything taste good. Fat makes things taste delicious. Okay, so here's the number one important way. You're going to take the carbs. So for this product, it's a 6. It's pretty low carb. You're going to take the carbs. From the carbs, you're going to subtract the fiber. So for this particular product, that would be taking 6 minus 1. I hate the Oreos are bad. I still eat them sometimes. Thank you for the hearts. So carbs minus fiber, you got that number. So for this, it's 6 minus 1, which is 5. This is math. Then we're going to subtract the protein. For this one, this has a protein of 4. So that means we're going 6 minus 6 minus 1, which is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. This is really good as far as looking at the hormonal carbs. I don't really do the paleo lifestyle. I do similar to paleo, but maybe less restrictive than paleo. And I do try to be gluten-free and dairy-free when at all possible. Okay, so that was the most important thing. So I'm going to go over it one more time. This is finding out the hormonal carbs of any food. I know when I buy PB2, it's a pretty safe bet. It's not a pack of Oreos. So we're going to take the carbs. I do not have a 6-pack. Gluten-free. Gluten is very bad for you. I do not wipe my teeth, but should. I can talk more about gluten. It is a great way to get belly bloat. It's a great way to get brain fog. It actually makes you basically unable to focus and concentrate and make the same decisions you would have if you hadn't have had the gluten. So gluten can actually impair your ability to think clearly. It makes you very lethargic. So all food is information. Food is giving your body a story. And so food has a hormonal impact. I go beyond the caloric impact of things and think about how if chicken breast has the same amount of calories as a donut, then obviously calories are not the entire story. It's more about the hormones that the foods tell your body, should I store fat or should I burn fat? We obviously want to be fat burners. And so to read your label, sodium is under 200 if possible. That's not a deal breaker for me. The fat content on your label, you want the fat, where's my fat? The fat is 15 or less. This one has a fat of 1, which I don't know if you can really see that. And then to do your little fancy math, you're going to take carbs, total carbs, take away the fiber. And when you're subtracting fiber, if the food item has any sugar alcohols, you're going to subtract that as well because sugar alcohols do count. So carbs minus fiber, then minus the protein. And you think, okay, then what? What do I do? You want that number to be about 10 or less. So if you get it between 5 and 15, that's a good range. And you're going to have to play around and see how your body responds. Some of us need to have that hormonal carb factor to be a 5, and some of us have a little bit more wiggle room and can do 15. So let's shoot for 10, somewhere in the middle. Carbs minus fiber minus protein, we want to equal about 10. So you don't want to have too much fat. Absolutely. There needs to be a limit. What we need to focus on is how sugar can be kind of a villain in our lives. It does have a part, but it's not as good as we thought. But even cardiologists now who do lots of heart surgeries are saying, you know what? It's not fat. We were wrong telling you to follow the non-fat, low-fat lifestyle, because when things have no fat on the label or low fat, what that means is they've added in more sugar so that it still tastes good and appealing to us. So this is all based on the metabolic effect, which is how I'm certified. So if you want to go to metaboliceffect.com and check out their scientific research, they're a lot smarter than I am, but it's very good. You want to focus on how food makes you feel. How are my hunger, energy, and cravings factoring, and each day may be different, but you want to focus on not so much the calories, because calories are not the full story, but rather the hormonal impact. Genetics are definitely going to play a role, but I also don't like to treat them as an excuse, because a lot of my family, we do have typical builds to our physiques, absolutely, but I do think that we can eat wisely, and eating is an 80% way to change your body, not exercise. Obviously, exercise is important, but the food is what it's really all about. And that's what we're talking about today. So fat, 15 or less. Oh, I'm sorry, it's confusing. Definitely feel free to check out Metabolic Effects website. They have a great book called The New Me Diet, and it explains all the science of exercise and the science of eating so that we can take it to the next level. This is 2015. We don't want to be buying into the no fat, low fat lifestyle anymore. We want to focus on being gluten-free, limiting our sugar, and being mindful of having too many carbs, especially if you're a vegetarian. A lot of vegetarians are secretly starchitarians, which is not really good. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about how to find out the hormonal carbs on a nutrition label? I know, we need a diet with ice cream. I love that. That's so funny. We do. We're going to come up with an ice cream diet. That would be so awesome. Okay, so I know some of you are a little late joining our Periscope. I will be sure to have the playback available for the next 24 hours, and it is awesome. Periscope is so much fun. We can interact with each other. And I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So in case you're just now getting on, oh, yes, donuts. Oh, yeah, donuts have the same amount of calories as a chicken breast. So obviously, if I could live on donuts and have a rocking body, I would absolutely do it. I'm going to put this on YouTube, so make sure you follow me at Fit with Deb. I also have lots of workouts and recipes, and you can hang out with me in my kitchen. And I love to Periscope with you. I love the hearts, and I hope that y'all have a great day. I'm going to jump off now. I got lots of work to do. I got to go read more labels and make sure everything I'm having is healthy. So have a great day, and thank you for the hearts.